Hey, what is up guys? So we are going to go over the best cards that come out of the new Shining Victories pack. We're just going to be covering over the hot cards that are going to be super rare or higher. There's a lot of great commons in here, but we're just going to go over like the money cards. So it's kind of like the best cards that you want to actually be pulling out of your booster packs. Or if you're going to sneak peek, these are the cards that you want to trade for or hopefully pull out of the booster packs. But anyways, first off, some of the other smaller cards you kind of want to talk about because some of these people have been looking forward to be playing and have them finally come out here in the TCG. So the Luna Lights, there's a few Luna Light cards here and there that are also coming out in the future, but for the most part, as of right now, they're not looking like to become the best deck, even though like when you get out some of the cards, they are pretty powerful. The Ultimate Falcon is also here, so expect to see some more Raid Raptor players coming into the game because we finally have like their boss monster. Next up, there is a Blue Eyes, a Twin Burst Dragon. It's an okay card. It's actually a little bit more pricey than it should be. It's just kind of one of those fan favorite cards. You know, like the Dark Magician Girl is just kind of a hot card. Some collectors, really like those cards. A little bit of a smaller card, but Pre-Preparation of Rites. Excellent card indeed. Simply because it's just going to be used in the future. We got a lot more great ritual support coming out, and as well as other ritual decks. So if you guys don't already have some of these, I'd recommend either getting them now, because once some of that new stuff comes out, unless this card gets a reprint, it can go easily up in price. Also the Amorphages, there's a lot of Amorphages stuff. Most of the stuff is like $5 and under. This is the more expensive card, and that is because it is one of the secret rares. Starting off with some more collector cards, start with Cipher Divine Dragon. Pretty cool stuff indeed, just to have some of those like anime or fan favorite cards coming out in the game. If you guys want to watch a great replay, I have one. I'll link it down below in the description box so you guys can check this card out in action. As well as the Hot Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity. We finally are getting this card in the TCG. So Hot Red Dragon Archfiend, there's a lot more support for the Red Dragon Archfiend archetype if you want to build that. It's a little bit more viable right now, but it's still not going to be like high tier. But these are just some cards that people are collecting, so some of them are sitting at like 10 bucks ish. Of course, this is all during sneak peek. This card's actually an okay card too. Lecter Pendulum, the Draco Overlord, not a bad card at all. When it says negate the effects of face-up pendulum monsters while your opponent controls them. Next up, starting off with some of the cards that are more higher in value right now. Dragon Spirit of White. So a lot of the Blue Eyes support is actually really pricey right now. There's also the White Stone of Ancient, another pricey card. Then the Sage with the Eyes of Blue, really good card. Because when it's normal summon, you can add one level 1 light tuner monster from your deck to your hand except for itself. You can search out a lot of great targets with this card. It's not just limited to the Blue Eye stuff, but for the most part, it doesn't have really great stats, so it'll probably go away, or if you contribute it, whatever. It can definitely be a viable card. Next up, some card that a lot of players can run in a lot of different decks. Drowning Mirror Force. It's the Water Mirror Force. So when an opponent monster declares a direct attack, you can shuffle all attack position monsters your opponent controls into the deck. Really great card against Cosmos. Fantastic card against Cosmos, because it's about bam, everything going back, I'm not targeting. Really good stuff indeed. Next up, Dark Planet. This card's sitting about like 25 to 30 bucks. Again, all these prices that I'm mentioning at the time of making this video, so if you're watching this like a week after, all of these prices could change. There's like a good like $25 to $30 card right now during sneak peek. Depending on how well Cosmos can do in the metagame as far as like YCSs and other Yu-Gi-Oh events, this card go up and down in price. It just kind of depends on that. The Cosmol Dark Lady over here, another secret rare. Very good indeed. It's sitting at about 50-ish bucks right now. So and there's your price market guide for that. And then the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon is also a pricey card, relatively pricey at least. For me making this video at the time of this upload. It's a decent card, but it's only really limited to Blue Eyes. The Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. I feel like this makes Dragoonies so much more playable now. This card is a generic card. It's sitting about like $30-ish, and I think this card, it would have been excellent to have this card as a ghost rare, but we don't have ghost rares right now. Maybe in Astral Packs it can add more ghost rares in the future, but I thought this card would look really awesome in a ghost rare form. But nonetheless, a really good card in this set. And lastly, but not least, Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. This card absolutely destroys certain decks. This card's like 60 to 70 bucks as of right now. It's a zombie, it's a tuner, and it's got 1800 defense. During either player's turn, if your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can discard this card, reveal one card in your extra deck, then look at your opponent's extra deck. Also banish all cards in their extra deck with the same name as that revealed card. You can only use this effect of it once per turn. So at that point, oh, you got Dante. Oh, you lose all your Beatrices, all of your the fusion Dante. Like, you lose out on so much when this card gets its full effect against certain decks. Like, you just lose. Like, if they don't have burial or a way to put those cards back, certain decks will just fold to this card simply. If it's a deck that relies on the extra deck, I want to know actually what happens to the pendulums. Can it work against pendulums? I mean, it is the extra deck, so I would assume it does work, but I don't know if there's some crazy rule. You guys let me know in the comment section below. But let me know, guys, what archetype are you most excited to like try out now that we have this extra stuff coming out, extra like stuff, I guess, or support, so to speak, coming out for all of these other decks. Like, there's more Cosmos support, but I think Cosmos were pretty hot already. But as far as like the new stuff, I think there's a lot of players that are going to try out like the Red Dragon Archfiend. Again, if you guys want to check that out, I'll link down below in the description box, as well as a Stardust Cipher Divine Dragon, because people love Synchros. I think Synchros are like a fan favorite. And then also now we have the Morphages. They're a little bit lackluster. I feel like they have consistency problems, especially the Upstart got it too. And then obviously with the new Blue Eye support, that's pretty good. And then Raid Raptors are going to see a lot more play in Lunalights. For me, I really like the Lunalights, but like after playing the deck, like it gets kind of old relatively fast. There's not very many like extra crazy plays. I'm really looking forward to the Cyber Angels. I know that like it's not like out yet, but I still am really looking forward to that deck. But as far as like what I'm really interested in trying out, I've pretty much tried out most of these, but I just like Synchro decks, so I'm probably gonna like mess around with the Red Dragon Archfiend a little bit more now that we have this in the TCG. But anyways, like I said, guys, check the description box. I'll add the video of the Red Dragon Archfiend King Calamity in action, as well as a Stardust Cipher Divine Dragon combo, so you guys can kind of mess around with some of the new stuff. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and I'm signing out.